might go too fast. I don't care about those limits, 'cause I want this to last like nothing ever lasts before. I might go too fast.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is an amazing recipe, breakfast burritos. Here you'll see me cutting my potatoes, which is a perfect filler for all the other ingredients that I'll be placing in the breakfast burrito. After cutting the potatoes, I'll be placing them in a bowl of salted water to not just season the potatoes, but to get some of the starch out of the potatoes. I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more of this beautiful burrito recipe, continue to watch. Here we have some red bell peppers, some orange bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, and red onions.
I don't care about those limits.
To go with that, we have 5 eggs, some garlic powder, some oregano, some adobo, Italian seasoning, some black pepper, chicken bouillon, and last but not least, some salt. Those potatoes again, my filler. Also, go ahead and get some bacon in the oven. It's gonna taste amazing. I want to show you my recipe of breakfast burrito. Now, all you need for this breakfast burrito is a few items. And like I said, this is my version of the breakfast burrito. Now, I get this from Walmart, and it's not cooked. You have to, it's tortillas. I don't know if you could see it that well, but it's not cooked. You gotta cook it, and I love these. They're really good. I also have here some pork choritos. This I'll be using with 5 eggs, and this is just the fillers for the breakfast burritos. I like to fry my choritos in a little bit of butter, so I have some butter here. I have some seasonings. I got me some salt, some garlic powder, some oregano, some Italian seasoning, and my favorite GOYA seasoning with some black pepper. And this here will be going with my potatoes, because the breakfast burritos is a little light if you just put some eggs and choritos. So I like to fill it up, so I put some potatoes. Now I'm show you how to do the potatoes, the choritos, and how I wrap it up and how I serve it to my kids. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if by any chance this video was educational and entertaining, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a little message. Say something, you like it, I don't like it, and I would really love if you subscribe. Now I'm new to YouTube, so subscribing would help me out tremendously. So I want to say thank you for subscribing. Thank you for just checking out this video. Let's get into it. What I do is I put a little bit of butter into my pan and let it heat up nice. Let this heat up, and whilst that is heating up, I will take my potatoes. I got 3 rustic potatoes in some salt water. Now I'm gonna drain that water. Drain that water. Get all the water out. I'm gonna get me a paper towel. I'll take some of that potato because I want that potato to really get a good crisp on it. So I want to get as much water out of that potato as possible. So get the potato, and I'm just gonna pat it because I want it to be nice and crunchy on the outside. So I'm gonna take out as much water from the potato as I can. I'm gonna take that potato and I'm gonna put it in my oil and butter. Add a little bit more. Put it in. Now I wash my hands. I'm gonna dry it. And I'm gonna show you. I like to get all my potatoes laying really flat on the surface of the frying pan. Just like this, get it all flat. And I like to put the stove on high so the bottom could get a little bit of crunch, because I'm gonna fry this up. So that is frying up, and I'm gonna take my plate that I have my garlic powder, my oregano, my adobo, some Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt, some black pepper, and some chicken bouillon, and I'm gonna pour it in here. Just like that. Put this aside. I'm gonna give it a good toss. Stir. Nice. See how that is looking? Stir that, stir that. Ooh, he tried to get away from me. Right back in there. And I'm just gonna let the bottom get a little bit crisp on it. So we lay it flat, make sure all of them actually is touching the bottom of the pan. I don't really want them on top of each other. So if you know that you're gonna do this, get a pan that is big enough to hold your potatoes, or do it in 2 or 3 sections, but don't pull the pan up. So this is what it's gonna look like. All is laid flat to the bottom. And the next thing I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna let this crisp up a little bit, and after that it's crisp, I'm gonna turn it on the other side. When this bottom is crisp, I'm gonna turn it on the other side, and then I'm gonna turn my stove down to 4 and put the lid on. But the next thing I'm going to do, okay guys, so this is what we want to see. We want to see like a little bit of crunch on the sides. And when you see this, you take your half of your onions, put that in, half of all your peppers, put that in, give it a good toss, stir, a good stir. Then you take your stove from high, and take it all the way down to low, spread it out. You take your cover and let it steam. So you let this steam for a good 5 minutes, because it's already started cooking the potatoes, but you want the middle to soften. So you put a lid on and you let that steam. While that is steaming, I'll move on to my eggs. Okay guys, so here I got 4 eggs. I used 5 eggs. I'll put in some GOYA seasoning. a little bit of black pepper, not a lot, just a little bit. I put in some salt. Whisk this up. Give it a good beat. I set this aside. Put on my stove. Let that heat up, and the first thing I do, I fry the choritos in some oil. Fry the choritos in some oil. Okay, so I put some oil in a frying pan. I normally use half of my choritos and I put the rest for another. So when my oil is hot, I squeeze the chorito out of the casing, just like this. I cut it in half. Squeeze it out of the casing. And I mash it up and fry it. Now I don't put anything in here other than oil. All it needs for now is some oil. And you cook this first. And when you finish cooking the choritos, you take the egg and you pour it in. And I fried it. Frying our choritos. So you see it starts to separate. You keep frying that. And while this is frying, I want to show you what my potatoes look like. This is what the potatoes look like. They're all soft and steamed. Pretty. You give it a good stir. Get some of the bits from the bottom up. See how soft it is? And at this stage is when I put in the remainder of the peppers, because I don't like when all the peppers are soft and smushy. I don't like when all the peppers are soft and smushy. So now I put in the remainder of the peppers. The red, the orange, bell peppers, and the onions. Give that a good toss. And this is the potatoes that goes into the burritos. Doesn't that look good? And it smells amazing. Turn the oven off and go back to this. Now this is what this is the chorito that we're frying in some oil. Now you could use any oil that you desire. I just use vegetable oil. Now when it starts to look like it's separating like this, then is when I turn my stove up a little bit more, give my egg a good whisk, and you pour that egg in with the choritos. Pour that egg in. This aside, and you stir everything in together. Stir the eggs and Choritos. See what that's looking like? Stir that in. It's going to start to come together nice. Give that a good stir. You gotta keep stirring this because you want everything to come together. See how it's coming together? Keep stirring it. Keep stirring it. don't like to just let it fry by itself. I like to stir it all together like you're doing a scrambled egg. So I just stir it in. Now at this stage it's not looking the way I want it to, so I'm just gonna keep stirring that in. Stir that in. Keep stirring that in. Let's get in there. Let's get in there. Look at that. See? The egg is now coming together. That's why I put it on high. Stir that in. Cooking that egg with that Choritos. Here we go. Let's get in there. Stir that bad boy in. Okay guys, so this is tortilla dough. All I do to cook it is I take one, first I use my towel. This is something from my country, we call it a towel, and I use this to fry my tortillas. So I put it on the hot stove, just like that. I take one of the tortillas out of the bag. This is what the tortilla look like, it's just the dough. And I take that tortilla and I place it on the stove and I let it cook. Now today I'll be using about 6 tortillas. So let that cook on one side, and when it's done cooking and it get puffed up, you flip it over and you cook it on the other side. You can take that taquito. So here we can see the tortilla starting to get puffed up. Now I would like for you guys to wait until it's puffed up a little bit more on this side right here, and then you take your handy dandy spatula and just flip it over. But this is what it's supposed to look like. Let's get in there. Look how beautiful that is. For me, I love using the tortilla ready to cook fresh tortillas. This is what it look like, ready to cook fresh tortillas. I love using that. To me it tastes way better. So you see how that is puffing up? Look how pretty that is. Take your spatula and you just, sorry guys, I'm trying to flip it as I go. I like a little crunch on mine, so do my kids. But if you don't like it this way, you don't have to do it this way. And you leave your oven on medium heat. This is what it's looking like. I know it. So this is what it looks like. Then I like to good. I don't press it or anything, I just let it float up all by itself. So I wait until you see like some big air bubbles, and then I flip it again. See those bubbles? Just like that. See how it's rising? There it goes, there it goes. There it goes, and I flip it on the other side. That's how I do it. Now I have 7 people in my family, and each child will take about 2 of these. So that means I'll be doing about 14. And that's how it goes. Now I would normally put it in some wax paper, just like this. I put it in the wax paper, and I fold it over. Just to keep it warm, rest my spoon on it, get me another one. Start the process again.
Cause I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you.
Breakfast burrito with some sour cream, some roasted salsa verde, some roja taco sauce, Mexican cream, cheese, red onions as a topping, some cilantro, and bacon. Now let me show you how I assemble the taco. I put the taco at the bottom. I place some of the eggs and Choritos, just like this. The potatoes that I sauteed in bell peppers and onions. I place one bacon, whichever sauce you like.
Cause I've been thinking about you.
A little bit of cream. The roasted salsa verde. Sprinkle that all over. My onions and cilantro. And I fold it this way. And that's it. I serve this with some sweet tea. And it's a delicious breakfast burrito. I want to thank you guys for checking out my channel. If I seem nervous, it's because I'm new to this. I apologize for that. I hope that you will come back because I got a lot of ideas. I hope you give this video a thumbs up, like, and don't forget to subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell. And I want to say thank you again for coming into this channel. I hope you have a blessed day and try this recipe. It's a good one. Stay blessed. See you in the next.